Welcome back to another Talking Tarkov. I'm the Earlegathlete here with,
Hey Dizzle.
and today we're going to be discussing our strategies for approaching and fighting some bosses, namely Kaban, Shturman, and the Goons. We know that fighting some of these bosses can be a pretty frustrating task sometimes, but hopefully with this information, you'll be able to start confidently pushing these fights, making your life a little bit easier. We'll just hop right into it with Kaban. Dude's fucked, right? He's got Lexos. He's got this compound in Lexos, but then he's also got a plethora of guards, mounted guns, snipers, and then on top of that, you could potentially run into PMCs and scavs in the area too. So like, what's the approach to get even close enough to fight Kaban?
Obviously, if you can get close enough, I think the main strategy that we always try to use is launch grenades, or technically, depending on what side you approach from. If you're approaching from over like near the theater, over near car extract, um, it's as simple as just throwing nades to get the guys off the guns, get the guy off the grenade launcher, get the
Yeah,
guy
because
off
you
the big
got
gun.
two mounted guns facing that back door.
Yeah, yeah. And that grenade launcher, that thing can take you out,
Yeah, it's
pretty
got
much.
range.
Yeah, anywhere. Like, anywhere down that whole road, like, all the way down to where there's that, like, semi-trailer that is, like, blocking the road, like, from there all the way up to the actual compound, like, that thing could take you out. Um, so, yeah, getting them off the big guns is, like, the main thing you're focusing on, and then, basically rushing in, getting in one of the containers, just so you have some cover and can regroup. If you're approaching from the other side, it's you got a few more options. You can, go up above that
Tar
bank
bank.
there.
Yeah, tar bank
Yeah,
right
you can go
across
up
the
above
street.
Tar Bank. It's got I think it's a 4 or 5-story, building up there. You can go up
You can
in a
definitely
lot of
go up
different
four
rooms.
stories.
Yeah, you can take out some of the, snipers. You just have to be careful because they will, throw grenades through the windows at you. The snipers will, one tap you from there. Had that happen several times.
Oh yeah.
Um, if you don't wanna mess with the snipers, if you're not, like, seeing them and they're not actually bothering you, you can just start down on the bottom floor. Once again, lob grenades over the fences and hopefully get the guy off the main gun on the left. That's really the only gun you have to worry about. And
Yeah,
then,
yeah. Well, there's a tower when
yeah,
you come out of Tarbank. There's a tower on the left hand side of the gate. If you just aim to the left side or the right side of that, you can usually get it close enough to get them off the gun.
and then once you're in, you just, immediately once again, you wanna run into one of the containers, whether you're going on the left or right. That's your first, that's your first main, positioning that you wanna get to, is you get in there, you basically get set up for your next move.
Well, your next move with that is typically waiting. Um, a lot of the time, the guards will just start instantly pushing up on you. You can take a chunk of them out just sitting in the containers. I like the right container. It gives you protection from the gun. Adam always goes left when you're there. Every
Yeah.
time you peek, you got to make sure if there's somebody on the gun, you're hitting your shots. If there's not anybody on the gun, you're a little bit safer. You can start throwing grenades from there and just try to figure out where Kaban is and everything else. But the right side gives you
And
a little bit of protection. There's
yeah,
that truck there blocking it, so you're able to just lob grenades over it without really having to worry too much about the gunner.
my main reasoning for going left is number one, keeping someone off the gun, and number two, I've always found Kaban inside the actual like dealership right there on the left. Like every time I've killed the Kaban, I'm pretty sure it's been in there. Like I do not hardly ever see him over on the right side. Um, so basically, that's why I always go that way. I've just had really good luck with catching him over there. And then,
I've only caught him
once you
over on
clear
that side
everybody out,
once.
yeah,
I
it's
always
weird
catch him
how
in the
like
garage. Yeah.
yeah, but once you're in that position, like you said, you kind of just wait it out, let everybody rush you. You're pretty much going to have just guards and scavs coming at you nonstop. As long as you take them out, you're pretty clear to make your next move, which will be just obviously checking to see which side Gabon's at. If he's on your left, then you're in a very good position
Yeah.
to just creep over there, and I've had really good luck with just lean peeking from the inside of the door, and 90% of the time, Caban's just standing there, and he will not be aggroed to you, and you can just headshot him. There are times where I've had issues because there'll, like, be guards posted up in there, and when I go to lean in, they'll already be on me. If that happens, I always back off again, let them chase me. My main thing is to always try to keep Kaban, uh, not keep Kaban in that building,
Right.
because when he comes after you, it's much harder to fight him, because if he gets
He's
line of
locked
sight on
on.
you with that
Right.
PKP, yeah, you're pretty much done. Especially if he's rocking, like SNB or BT or you know.
And that's another struggle when you do have what Gus and the other one, his main primary guards.
Yeah,
If they are in that room with him still, and they aggro you, he is absolutely aggroing you, and it makes it just
right.
extremely hard. Um, but that doesn't happen too
Yeah, because
often. A lot
he's
of times, Gus and them kind of play in that mid lane. They kind of seems like
yeah.
they hang back a little bit. They don't rush in, but they try to keep distance from Kaban most of the time.
Yeah, Kaban will chase you if he aggroes. If he gets a sight on you, he will chase you, and he's quicker than he looks. He's quicker
Yeah,
for a big old guy. He waddles around pretty fast.
honestly, even when Kaban's on the right side garage, though, it's really easy there too. You can just come out of the right side container, throw a grenade right on the right or left hand side down the hall. He's always on the left hand side, so you can just kind of lob a grenade in and force him to push up towards you a little bit, and you can either gun him down right there, or you can throw another grenade in and try to get him further out. But you're in a pretty good position. If you have to go in the garage, he usually gets the drop on you. But if you can
Yeah.
kind of play off the wall and the boxes right there, it's pretty smooth, pretty safe.
And
Uh,
I think the reason, Garage I consider a little more difficult is because I've seen him in a couple different areas, like, when I've went in there, like, he'll either be, like, right behind, those, hydraulic jacks that are there. He'll either be, like, right
oh
behind that
yeah,
against the wall.
immediately in on the left
Yeah,
side wall. Yeah,
yeah, or he'll be all the way at the very back, like, in the corner, like, I've seen him in both spots.
I've
While over in the other side, I've only seen him in the one
he's always in
area,
that
which is
back right.
basically,
Yeah,
yeah, just right there by that little room beside the stairs.
yeah. Um, yeah, I've really only ran into him on the right in the back left corner. But every time I get him moving, he goes to the jacks. So it probably just depends if
Right.
somebody's aggroed him already or not.
Probably, yeah.
The
That
other
makes
issue
sense.
with him being on that left side, especially if you come in from the back, is that he can shoot you through those walls, and he's got a
Yeah.
clear line of sight as soon as you start coming in. So that the backside's I feel just a little bit more treacherous, a little bit harder to push in
Well,
and defend.
and to get eyes on him, you're closer to him, you know what I mean? So you're already, like, you don't have that distance like you have on the other side. Like, the other side, you
True.
can keep a pretty good distance, and you have that wall right there that you can duck in and out of. On that
It's
side, you
true.
kinda have to open yourself.
Right.
Um, but it's doable both
It
ways.
is absolutely.
It Caban does not wear any armor, so if you can get the drop on him, you pretty much, couple head taps if you're not rocking high damage ammo, or if you're rocking high damage, one single head tap usually takes him out.
Yeah, well, I hunted him with the mutant last time, and I just rocked, I think, a mixture of BP and PP.
Mhm.
BP and PP. They're both around 60 damage. I think it's like 58, 59. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, they're right there in the
So,
50s,
but
yeah.
if the high flesh damage rounds are insane, they will drop him quick. Um,
I used the MDR last time with, just M62s and M80s mixed, and I dropped him with a single head tap, I believe. Although I was firing so fast, I guess I coulda hit him twice, but I'm
I
pretty
had to
sure
shoot
I
him a
one
couple
tapped
times,
him. I
but
think I
I
one
just
tapped him.
killed
Of
him.
course, M80 is 80 damage, you know what I mean? So, and M62 I think is
Right.
78.
Right. Yeah. So
So
it should
you
be
got some
more
pretty
than
high
enough to head
damage.
tap.
Yeah. I don't know his exact HP, like his health pool. I'm not sure what it is. I know it's higher than a normal PMC. I just don't know the exact numbers. I probably should look up and see what that is. But I would
I
imagine it's in the 70 range. I would imagine it's twice the PMC, somewhere around there.
can look it up and find out. He has
Yeah,
85
actually,
health
I
on
was
his
looking.
head.
Oh,
So he's
okay, he's
got
got 85.
85 to his head, 355 to his thorax, 260 to stomach, 150 to each arm, 150 to each leg for a total of 1300 health,
Yeah, yeah, he's
which is a lot.
okay, he's 3 times. He's
Yeah,
3
he
times the
is.
PMC, not 2 times.
Yeah, it's pretty absurd.
Okay, so I
The
guess,
85 to head, I mean,
yeah, that's gonna take 2 rounds of most ammo.
yeah.
Unless you're rocking like, some really high flesh ammo, like high damage flesh ammo, which most
Tip or
people are
something.
not, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, you deal
Yeah,
with armor far too often to
right.
always run flesh. Even if you're hitting your headshots, flesh isn't guaranteed to do it just because people have face masks and face shields and glasses and everything else.
R
So
right.
it can be difficult. And we should probably mention to get into Tar Bank, you don't want to go down Main Street in front of Lexos,
No,
obviously.
definitely not.
You're gonna want to go
Right.
in through the backside, go up to the second or third floor. You get a pretty decent view on that first gunner. If you look at the gate, he's on the very left hand side of the metalwork stuff. You can see the gun sticking out. If he's there, you can take him out. If not, no big deal. But yeah, you go back downstairs, go to the right side of Tar Bank, go straight through, lob grenades over the tower on that left hand side of the gate. And after you've thrown one or two, they should be off the gun. Move in, pick your side, start working. It's a almost foolproof strat. The only issue there is if your grenades aren't great or close enough to the gunner, you might have to try to kill one as you walk in. And every time you kill a gunner, there's typically another one coming right back to it.
Yeah, and even regular scavs will take over after the gunner's dead. They will take over for the guards and get on the big gun. A lot of times I'll be in Lexos and Kaban won't even be there, and I'll just be, strolling around, not really worried, and a scav will sneak in and hop on the gun, and I
Yeah,
won't even know it.
yeah, that
And
happens often.
we've both died to that, you know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely.
and then you also have to watch out for the mines. There are mines that are up and down each entrance, on both sides. Also the main front part that's like on Main Street, you can't walk through there anymore. You used to be able to, but now it's also covered in mines.
Yep.
So pretty much you have to stick to just basically a straight where the entrance is, you just have to go straight through there. Don't go
Yeah.
off to the right or left because you will blow up.
Yep.
Even inside of Lexos, there's some mines.
Too far to
You
the
got to be
left hand
careful.
side. Yeah.
Yeah, when you walk in, if you get too far towards the actual wall, you will blow up.
Yeah. It's not a good time. I think that covers Kaban fairly well. We can go ahead and move on
Yeah.
to the next one. This fucking prick. Let's talk about Shturman. He's one of the easier fights in my opinion. I think he's pretty easy to
Yeah,
kill,
for
especially
sure.
once you know how to work it. But this guy will kill you just for walking down the road, trying to go to the what's that? The SUV with the labs card spawn in it.
Oh
I've been
yeah,
killed
yeah.
just walking near that road looking for scavs and gotten shot because he happened to like aggro somebody and move up too far to the wood line. Um, so yeah, but there are good methods for getting in there. Um, Typically getting in to fight Shturman isn't the ideal play. You want to get on one of those rocks surrounding the wood line or the wood line surrounding the sawmill. You've got a rock on the left hand side, a rock on the right hand side, and then the main rock where the wood piles are. There's that main big chunk of rock right there. You can climb up on top of those, lay down, and stay relatively safe. Sorry, and stay relatively safe from Shturman.
Although he can, and him and his guards can both. If they get a clean shot on you, they can shoot you from there.
Yeah, there's really
He used to
no
be a lot
super
easier.
safe place.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. He used to be a lot easier because he would only run around the sawmill. But just a couple wipes ago, I believe, BSG added some more pathing for Sturman and his guards, so now they can run up all the way pretty much across the road. Basically, the road that runs along the sawmill and takes you out towards the
Let's
medical.
Well, let's put yeah. I was gonna say let's reference back to the water when we say right side. It's going to be the medical side. Left side is going to be the lab spawn SUV, and the top side will be opposite the water, uh, on the other end at the road.
Yeah, yeah. Just to put it out there, if you're standing back at the water, you're back to the water. Sturman can go pretty much, where the tent is on left right there, where that has the flash drive sometimes, right there,
Yeah,
near the water. He can go pretty much from there all the way up through the woods there, all the way over by SUV, and then he can go over to the rock you were talking about, like the
yeah,
the one I call Sniper Rock, which is
but,
right down from Scav Sniper Rock. Basically the biggest rock in the middle right there.
yeah,
One everyone gets on that one. basically he can go all the way around that, and then he can go all the way back to like we were talking to the right towards medical across that road also. So it's like he's got a lot more real estate that he can travel in now. He still sticks to primarily the same areas, but it's not as easy as it used to be, which is a good thing
Yeah,
because he was one of the bosses that was like you always knew where he was. Yeah, pretty much anyone that wanted to kill him would just get a line on him and snipe him, and that was it.
that's it. Yeah,
Now it's a little more difficult.
yeah. Well, and they added all that
And
new
still be
cover
easy.
at Sawmill. They
Yeah,
added
yeah,
new
that's
wood
true too.
piles and new cover and spots and things. But yeah, once you've got a spot where you've got cover, prefer to keep distance. I don't like to go in and try to fight him and his guards. I want to
No,
sit
no, you
back
do
with
not
like a
want to
seven
push
six
Sturman.
two and just sit back and try to pick him off real quick.
If you approach him, like if you try to run up on him, like he will laser you. Like he is quick.
Oh
If
yeah,
he just sees you, he will drop to one knee and pretty much destroy you.
he will shoot you in
Like,
the face.
and then you also have his guards, which I've seen him with 2 guards. I've seen him with 4 guards. I don't know. Like, I'm not sure. It's normally 2 to 3, but I don't know why it varies sometimes. I don't know if that's just the way BSG wanted it to be, or if it's been a bug where he's just spawned with too many. Honestly, not sure. Because it used to be 2 only, but now it can be more. Um, so basically, they are usually more armored than the Sturman. Like they'll be wearing decent armor, and they'll be rocking sometimes really good ammo and stuff. Other times not. But you just have to watch out for them because a lot of times they'll be sitting in the bushes and you won't even see them.
Yeah,
How many times have we walked up there after we killed Sturman and there'll be a
the
guard just
guards are
sitting over
still
there in the bush?
just sitting in the
Yeah.
bush, sitting behind a wood
So
pile or yeah.
so keeping distance is probably the best strategy. Because like I said, Sherman's just he doesn't wear armor or anything, just kinda like Kaban, but if you get close enough to
SVDS
him,
will
he's
rock your
fast.
shit. Yeah,
Yeah, or his, AK,
his
one
AK.
oh
Yeah,
10 what does he rock? The 105?
105. It's an odd number.
I think it's the 105.
Actually, I can tell you right now. He can have his G28. Not often.
Right.
The AK 105
Yeah,
with a Golnick or
SVD.
BT or 7 in 40. On a rare occasion, it's PS. Doesn't happen often.
Right.
Usually, it's the high tier shit that's going to tear you apart. And then his SVDS with PS or SNB. Both of those are just going to shit on you as well. Occasional spawn with the Red Rebel. Stash keys right there. Anyways, that's irrelevant to this whole thing.
Yeah, 99% of the time it's SVD, AK-105.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think I've actually ever seen him with the G28. Maybe.
I've seen him one time with the G28, and I was like,
Yeah,
"Why? Why does he have a G28?"
yeah. It's
And
weird.
then
It's a weird spawn for him.
yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. So taking it slow, having good cover. You don't really necessarily even need to worry about grenades and all of that. Like you honestly just need good cover and getting close enough to him without him spotting you or the guard spotting, getting just close enough to have good cover
Yeah.
without them spotting you and just being able to just have clean shots. That's really what it boils down to with Sturman. It's a matter of just cat and mouse. You got to find him before
Now,
he finds you.
he does have a few different spawns. He's got a few areas where he likes to actually sit. So if like he's not aggro to someone, if you uh do some research and find out where those spots are, it's much easier to find him. If you're trying to do something crazy like run him with a pistol and actually like kill him with a pistol, then it's good to know where he can be at. That way you can basically keep out of line of sight until you get up close enough to just get the drop on him.
The one that I'm most familiar with is behind the wood pile between the gray
Yeah.
building and the red building on the left hand side.
Yep. That's like
He'll
the
sit
OG
back there.
spawn
Yeah, and then I know he
that used to be the
spawns
main spot.
somewhere near his stash,
Yeah, he can be over that pretty much
kind of
all
in the
those wood
middle.
piles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then in the back right-ish corner, down by that building area, he can be down there, up on that roadside. But other than that, those are the only three that I know are like, yes, he can be there. Most of the time, I aggro his guards first, or I see his guards first, and typically he's already on the move by the time I'm fighting him. Unless we're doing night raids, that's another option. Go in at night. He just can't see you as well. A little bit easier.
Well, and the special thing about Sturman is he'll just fire off his gun just to make people come push him. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
he'll
he
just
wants the
make you
aggro.
think. Yeah, he'll make you think he's fighting someone when in reality he's just shooting off shots just to draw you in. So you can always know his location just by listening for his gunshots too.
That's true. Let's move on to one that's a little more complicated, and possibly for a while one of my least favorite bosses, chunk of bosses, but the goons. And I know a lot of players struggle with the goons. They're hard. Like, what are you supposed to do? How do you know when they are around? What's the best approach to even try to deal with them? If you know you're being pushed by the goons, like there's a lot of different ways that they can approach or can attack you, and a lot of different ways that you can kind of go at it. But the best method that I have found to deal with the goons, and I'll let Adam explain because he's the one that taught me.
Well, and just to put this disclaimer out there, the last couple times we have fought the goons, they have acted way different.
That's true.
They used to be pretty simple as far as you would just if you are approaching them, you're going to get the sniper shot over your head from bird eye. That's kind of like the warning. You know that they are aggro to you. You hear that shot. Usually, Big Pipe would be the first person who would push you. So if you start running and get to an area that has like one opening or like a couple openings that you can keep in front of you, so you have eyes on both. If you get to that spot, usually they'll just push you one by one, and you can just drop them one by one. But you can ask Ryan. The last few times we fought them, it has not been that simple.
Not at all. Um, I was on Lighthouse. That's where they've been 100% spawn rate at since before the event. I'm not sure what happened with that. That's also irrelevant to this conversation. But for a few raids before, like 2 days before the event started, they were the goons and partisan were 100% spawn.
Yeah.
So you only have so much time to react once you hear that shot. You hear the sniper bullet go over your head. You know it's the goons. You got to find somewhere that they're going to funnel into you. What changed now is they don't just mindlessly run into that funnel point. In the last 4 days, I've been on Lighthouse X amount of times, dealing with them every single raid. The best way I've found to deal with it is literally find a funnel point and just lob grenades out that door, trying to push them in. They will not go through that doorway until either you're hit or you've done damage to one of them, or they think you're in a position where they can actually kill you. And when they do come in, they're coming in full force. I had Big Pipe and Bird Eye peek the same corner at damn near the same time, and while Bird Eye's rushing in, like it's the first approach I had with them. I got into the big house there at Lighthouse. There's the parking lot before you head over to the rogue camp or the water treatment, and there's that big
Right.
2-story house there. I go in and upstairs because I know they're already chasing me. I had killed Knight on the rock, and I ran down here. No, I hadn't killed Knight. This was the other raid. I heard the sniper shot, so I run. I get in big house. I go upstairs. I'm sitting there. I sit there for 15 minutes. They would not come at me. I was throwing grenades at them. They would not come after me. I finally decide I'll go peek through a window and see where they're at, what they're doing, try to get some information on them, maybe lob a grenade through that window. As soon as literally the second I peek the window, Bird Eye shoots me in the chest. You hear Big Pipe go, "He's hit!" All three of them at the same exact time rush up the stairs in the room and gun me down instantly. I was like, oh, well, that's a fluke. That's weird. They're just acting up. I go in again. Same fucking thing happens. They wait until I'm damaged, and then they push me and they kill me. I go in again, and then I finally was like, able to deal with them. Figured out that if you're in too good of a position, apparently they won't push you without reason. I put myself in a little bit worse cover to where they could just peek the doorway and shoot me, and then they started reacting. So it seems maybe that they've definitely had a tune up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's our guess. Our guess because I also had fought them over at water treatment. And normally it's as simple as sniper shot comes, big pipe pushes you, and the others follow. Well,
Right.
this time it was not how it went. It went, didn't even hear the shot. All of a sudden, Knight comes rushing me up the rocks, kill Knight, and then trying my best to, like look for Big Pipe and Bird Eye. Big Pipe never comes. So I'm like, what's going on? Why would Knight rush me but not Big Pipe? So I actually had to go all the way down inside of the road camp and water treatment. And I still can't get him to push me. Big Pipe is like up on the roof, running up and down the steps, will not push me. I finally got him to push me by running all the way into the building right beside where he was. And even then, he
Yeah,
didn't
you had
just
to
push
push into building 1, right?
Yeah, him and Bird Eye both pushed me at the same time, which is not how it normally went, and I was
Not
like,
at
"Wait a
all.
minute, what's going on?" So I think that they definitely got a little, a rework, like, their logic got updated, recently because it's I don't think it's a coincidence that both of us have had these weird interactions with them as of late, because I fought them more than any other boss probably in the last 2 wipes,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I could, like I could kill them so easy with that same strategy by just funneling them into one place,
Yeah.
and it's like, now all of a sudden, that's just
We
it's
have a
not working
short of
anymore.
just that from, like, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
Right.
Like, not long ago at all. We have a short showing. Adam gets, well, the sniper shot goes over. We know about it. We're like, well, we just push him, right? Because, like, we're pretty confident in the fight. Um, Adam gets killed. I go into we're on customs. I go behind the dumpsters. There's those 2 blue dumpsters that sit there by Crack House. Hype shows up. I'm shooting at him on left. That's the only one I was dealing with at the time. I tuck back in because I'd taken some damage. I popped a prop and an ETG. I hear footsteps running towards me. I flip to full auto. Big Pipe runs in solo by himself. Bang, bang, bang. He's dead. A few seconds later, literally not even like, oh, right after that, it's a couple seconds later, there comes Knight. He comes running in by himself. Bird Eye's not shooting at me. Knight wasn't shooting at me. No grenades, no nothing, no help for the other one. Um, I drop him. And then finally Bird Eye shows up and I kill him. And that's how it had went every single time. Every fight with the Goons had been that way up until this point, and it seems that
Yeah. Like,
we
I'm not
don't know if they just
exaggerating
turned
when
up
I
the
say
aggression or what, but it's a completely
every
different
fight
fight.
had been like that
Yeah,
before this. Like,
yeah,
not exaggerating at all. Every single fight had been get them to aggro you, Big Pipe will chase you down, then, Knight will come next, and then Bird Eye will finally come. That had always worked. It was like the easiest strategy in the
guaranteed.
world as long
Yeah,
as as long as you're not caught out in the open. If you're caught out in the open, you're in
yeah,
trouble
you're dead. Yeah,
because Big
it's a rough
Pipe's going to
spot.
laser you. Yeah, as soon as he sees you. Um, and also like these bosses are number one. There's 3 of them, so that makes it harder. Number two, they're fast. All of them are extremely fast.
Yeah,
Number
you
three,
don't even
they're
hear a
all
Bird Eye.
wearing Right, Bird Eye has no footsteps, but they're all wearing good armor. They're all rocking very good weapons. They're all rocking very good ammo. Like they are like pretty pretty insane when it comes to equipment. So if you just get in a straight up one-on-one fight with them, you could lose it very easily. So you have to find a way to, give yourself the advantage, which is why we had always done, the funnel them to one point trick that worked.
It
Because
just
if you fight
worked.
them out in the open, you're pretty much dead.
Yeah. My most open fight that I won with them was when on Lighthouse. They were at the road below Chalet 2 on the S, and I was on the rock, the big rock across. And I still had cover, so I still wasn't entirely in the open. But every time I peeked, I was getting lit up. Like it was hard enough to warrant the funnel method. But now, I mean, seriously, I think the video should be playing in the background. You guys are witnessing it. I also had to deal with Partisan at the time. That was a wild one. But every interaction I've had with him has been like this. It's I enjoy it more now because I actually have to think. I got to be on my toes, paying attention. I got to wonder, or not wonder, but I got to figure out, what my cover point is and how far up I have to move to get them to aggro to actually push me. And then also have to be ready for them to push all at once. Um, it's just more challenging now, and I'm happy about that. That's pretty dope. I enjoy it.
Yeah,
I
with the new logic, I think they are among the toughest as far as, what I mean, like because you can run into them pretty much anywhere. It's not always the same area where you're fighting them. They can have different strategies now, so you don't know exactly what's going to happen. So it just makes it a little more rewarding if you do win.
Yeah, and I mean, winning that fight with them is huge on its own, anyways, just because of the amount of gear and ammo and guns you're gonna pull out of it. And now, like Adam said, it's that much more rewarding because they're harder to fight. It's it definitely changed my feelings towards the goons now. I have that oh shit reaction when I
Yeah,
hear that
yeah.
sniper shot go off. It's like, where am I at? What's my closest cover? Where can I funnel? Um, Me and Middle were actually doing a raid. He was trying to kill him, which he did get him killed. We were on the rock on the wood line above Chalet 2, and I'm just walking on the rock edge, and I fall off of the rock edge. We knew the goons were in the area, but
Yeah, I
I
remember
fall
you
off the
saying.
rock edge, and Knight is literally just sitting there lighting me up at the entire time. And as he's doing that, big pipe's coming up around the other side of the rock. I don't know where Bird Eye was. I think it took Middle a minute to find and kill him, but it was pretty chaotic too. Like, and we had a decent position. Obviously, when I fell, I fucked myself. But yeah, it was wild. It was just
Yeah, they've killed me a couple
night.
times now. Like,
Yeah, yeah. Knight not saying anything, not making a bunch of noise. Not rushing after me to just start shooting as soon as they knew we were in the area. But waiting for us. It's just different the way they act now. It's almost. It really is a completely different fight, in my opinion. It's changed a lot.
well, and just to say it again, like this is just our theory because of what we've witnessed as of late. Like we didn't get any information that BSG had updated,
Right.
their logic or anything like that.
This is
But
purely
from the fights
speculation,
we've
but
had,
it's
it's we something's different.
yeah. We
100%
definitely
something is different.
have we definitely have the what do you call it? The sample
Yeah.
to come to this
Yeah, I've
conclusion.
fought them enough times to know, and it was like I said, I'm not exaggerating. It was the same way every single time. As long as you funneled on the one spot, it was big pipe, then it was night, then it was bird eye. It was simple as that.
It really
And
was.
it's not like that anymore. So there's something different, which I would assume BSG understood that people were just easily doing that, funneling them to one spot and killing them pretty easy.
Right.
Um, so I wouldn't be surprised if, you know what I mean, they had been working on something to make them a little more dangerous. And I'm assuming they just put it in and didn't say anything to anyone, but I just wanted to make that clear. We don't have any information that happened. We're just basing that off our experiences.
And they are 100% spawn rate. So if you doubt what we're saying, by all means, go load up Lighthouse and go nuts or whatever map they're 100% on right now.
Yeah, as of
And
right now, there's an event going on. So we looked it up the other day, and it said that they were 100% spawn on Lighthouse. I don't know if that's for the event the whole time, or if that's just temporarily, and they're going to move to another map. So yeah, if you want to test them out, you definitely have the opportunity to do it right now.
Partisan is always. Partisan is also 100% spawn rate. For me, it seems
I've
like
ran
he's
into
like
Partisan
80%
on
on
every
Lighthouse,
map.
anyways. Yeah, I see him all the fucking time, dude.
Yeah, I've ran into him almost every raid on every map. Every raid I ran on Shoreline, I ran into him. Every raid I ran on Lighthouse, I ran into him. So I just almost think he's 100% spawn on every map.
Which is yeah, he might be.
Your best bet for fighting anybody is to always keep a few nades. When you toss the nades, more than likely you're going to get a voice line. That can help you in any situation because that
Oh
gives
yeah,
you location, lets you know sometimes how many, it lets you know exactly where they are. It gives you that little bit of information just to help you to get the drop on them. So always keep nades, even if it's a flash nade. It doesn't have to be like you don't have to be trying to kill them with it. You're just wanting to get that voice line. That
yeah.
can help in any boss fight.
A grenade is a walkie-talkie essentially.
Yeah, yeah, it's a very good tool. I mean, very good.
Players, bosses, raiders, rogues,
Yeah,
anything in the game, you throw a grenade in its direction and will voice line. And if it's PvP players, you're gonna hear those footsteps. So no
right.
matter what, you're gonna know where they're at. Uh, we do plan to cover more of these. We probably cover all the bosses eventually over time. But yeah, so it depends. If you know that you're going to woods to hunt Shturman, prepare to go to woods to hunt Shturman. If you know you're going to streets to fight Kaban, you're probably not going to run the same kit you just ran to fight Shturman. Is it possible? Fucking obviously. Is it ideal? No. Is it optimal? No. You'll learn over time, what methods work best for you as well. We can't give you, I think I've said this in several other videos, we can't give you the golden ticket, like we don't have the answer that works best for you. We're just trying to impart some knowledge that we know works over countless hours in the game, thousands of hours, whatever. We're just trying to give you guys information that we know for a fact works for us. Like I said, it's
Yeah,
not guaranteed to work for you. You might not like the methods we use. You know, find your way. But if you're struggling and you're looking for help and you're trying to figure this thing out, Hopefully this helps you. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.